And this Monday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be hosting Russian President Vladimir Putin. It's a very brief visit, about 6 to 7 hours. The Russian president will be in India, but this is going to be hugely significant. The bilateral will be discussing, of course, a number of issues, world issues, as well as with regards to the ties between India and Russia. He will be attending, in fact, the Russian president will be attending the 21st India-Russia annual summit along with Prime Minister Modi. This summit could not take place in 2020 due to the COVID pandemic and hence has been pushed to this year. Putin's bilateral meet with the Prime Minister will be preceded by two other important meetings. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will be meeting with his Russian counterpart Sergei Shoigu, while External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will also be having a meeting with his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov. This will be the first 2+2 dialogue of foreign and defence ministers. Putin is also likely to gift the S-400 air defence system model to Prime Minister Modi during his visit. Remember that Russia has already begun delivering the lethal air defence system to India. There will also be, of course, the deal for the manufacturing of 7.5 lakh AK-203 assault rifles for the Indian Army under the Make in India initiative. So these AK-203 assault rifles will be manufactured in UP Amethi.
An ordinary relationship. This is a relationship of a especially privileged strategic partnership, which envisages a unique level of confidence and mutual understanding. Thus, sometimes the leaders would touch upon very sensitive issues exclusively meant for such kind of relationship. That's why this is not an ordinary summit. It's a historical summit, when one could expect a new impetus coming into the bilateral ties.
The areas where we are vulnerable in a sense, including in our land frontiers, Russia has stood by us. And the fact that this is going to be a 2+2 arrangement of foreign ministers and defense ministers, as in the case of America, I feel that this partnership is going to have a very solid foundation and is going to be as strong, maybe even stronger than our partnership with the United States.
Let me take this across to our Foreign Affairs Editor Geeta Mohan for all the updates of what's expected in this big meeting between Prime Minister Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Geeta, good morning. A very brief visit by the Russian President. We understand it will last about 6 to 7 hours, but one that's going to be hugely significant as well. What to you could be really the key takeaways from the bilateral?
Well, Akshita, to begin with, this is the first in-person meeting after the 2019 meeting that the two leaders had on the sidelines of BRICS in Brasilia. So it is going to be very significant because nothing can really replace the one-on-one meetings that leadership have every now and again. And India and Russia, strategic partners, have had annual summits since 2000, and this is the 21st annual summit. So it is a very important one. There are very important aspects to the entire visit. It's not just the presidential visit. There is going to be an intergovernmental commission on military, that is defense, between India and Russia. There, as you know, a lot of the military and defense aspects in terms of cooperation, in terms of deliveries, whether if it's the S-400s or the Kalashnikovs, are really going to come up. Then there is the first 2+2 dialogue between the foreign ministers and defense ministers of India and Russia. Sergei Shoigu and Sergei Lavrov are in New Delhi. They arrived late last night. President Putin will be arriving in the afternoon. The 2+2 meeting would be followed by then the annual summit between President Putin and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The focus would be all gamut of relations between the two sides, whether if it is science and technology, trade, extensive cooperation on artificial intelligence, space exploration, research and science. So all those aspects would be covered, but military cooperation is going to be very important, and security aspects. In that, Afghanistan is certainly going to figure. India's concerns, like the ambassador speaking to India today said, are Russia's concerns too when it comes to terrorism.
Right.
That certainly will be addressed. The entire meeting will culminate with a very strong joint statement, as the envoy puts it, and then President Putin will leave for Moscow at around 9:30 p.m. So it's a packed schedule today for him.
All right, Geeta, and we'll track the latest updates. For the moment, thank you for joining us. Let's decode for you the 5 major pressure points, the challenges that stand to better relations between India and Russia. And perhaps these are issues that will be raised also in the meeting between Prime Minister Modi and Russian President Putin. One of the biggest challenges is the United States. The fact that US and Russia don't have the best of relations, and the fact that US could very soon impose sanctions against Russia, and India having to strike a balance between the two is something, of course, that remains a challenge. Besides that, there's also Russia's close links with China, and considering how things have progressed along the line of actual control and India's relationship with China, that is also another pressure point. Power shifts in the pandemic. Remember that this is the first time that Prime Minister Modi and Putin will be meeting since the BRICS summit. The rise of state-sponsored terror is something that will no doubt be discussed in great detail in the bilateral meet. And there is also all of the military alliances like Quad that's been formed that will be discussed in great detail between these two leaders.